This time on One Foot Flipper, we look at magical thinking in eBay. Are you trying to cast spells on your store? Stay tuned.
One foot flipper.
Hey everybody, Paige here, the One Foot Flipper. How's it going? I couldn't be happier. When this comes out, it should be November 1st, which I think of as the real start to fourth quarter. And when I started my YouTube channel on January 1st of this year, I had the 3-year goal to get to where Old School Picker was at the time. He was a few hundred short of 6,000 subs at the time, so I picked 6,000 subs as my goal. And over the weekend, I passed that goal at just under 10 months. Unfortunately, immediately afterwards, and completely unrelated, Old School Picker has decided to put his channel on hiatus and to pursue some other life goals. I wish him the best of luck in that journey, and I still am going to look forward to seeing him on the Two Old Guys Reselling podcast. Link below in the comments. So, magical thinking refers to the idea that you can influence the outcome of specific events by doing something that has no bearing on the circumstances. It's very common in children. Remember holding your breath, going through a tunnel, not stepping on sidewalk cracks for the sake of your mom's back, thinking you could successfully lie if you crossed your fingers. You know, you ever see people at the casino, gotta blow on the dice 17 times, jiggle them around in their hand for a half hour before they let them go? That's magical thinking. Magical thinking, persist into adulthood, can infest your eBay experience as well. Have you been toggling your international shipping on and off, thinking that's somehow going to make people buy your items? If so, did it work? Are you ending and selling similar items with bad prices at the same prices, thinking that will somehow make them sell? Did that work? Are you constantly fiddling with your promoted listings, turning them on and off on a daily basis? Did that work? You ever touch an item that's been listed for a year, only to have it sell later that day? There's a certain obsession with the eBay algorithm, as if it was some sort of almighty and divine being that must be given praise and sacrifice and divine rituals in order for you to get sales. All hail the algorithm.
Praise the truck farmer. Bow down before him.
However, the hard fact is that the eBay algorithm really only comes into play in one area and one area only, and that is best match in search results. And guess what? The majority items don't sell via best match in search results. Almost no really expensive items sell via best match search results. Nobody who needs to, who's in the market for an $8,000 studio mixer is gonna just hit best match and buy the one that shows up on top. Not happening. Nor I think it's the customer for a $200 mixer gonna hit best match and just buy the first one that shows up. They're going to research what they want, they're going to figure out the model they want, and they're going to go with the lowest price or the best deal they can find. They're not going with best match. What does tend to sell via best match results are extremely hard to comp items, clothes, antiques, and impulse buy type of browsing items that are pretty inexpensive. And the further you get away from clothing and antiques, and the pricier the item gets, or the less impulse it gets, the less the eBay algorithm is gonna matter. If you want to see how little the algorithm matters, then go find yourself a common book. And I suggest books because they're the best items to show this with, as every book has an exact title. And unlike DVDs or CDs, which are also equally as common, books don't show up as loose discs. So with a book, you can search that book, best match, then lowest first, then completed items. Notice how the completed item price clusters real hard around the lowest price currently available, often clustering below that price. Sometimes you have a unicorn. You do have that person who managed to sell a book for $16.99 when the rest sold for $6. Good luck trying to be that unicorn. You're going to have to toggle your international shipping on and off hundreds of times in order to summon whatever it was that bought that $16.99 book when there were 100 available at $6. That's because customers shop the same way you do. They shop price lowest first. Hey, maybe you're different. Maybe you don't shop price lowest first. If you don't, if you don't shop price lowest first effect, do me a favor. Please contact me. Send me your email address to my email address down in the descriptions, because I'm sure I could sell a mailing list of customers who don't care about price for a lot of money. I could probably give this whole gig up if I had a mailing list like that. It's really easy to start mentally attaching a cause and effect relationship to things happening on eBay. Timmy the Dolphin Flipper tells you to toggle your international shipping, and suddenly you get a sale. Do you think those items are actually related? Do you really think that turning off international shipping made Jenny in Palmyra, Missouri suddenly decide to buy a sealed Quigley Down Under Blu-ray and to buy it from you? If so, which part did the toggle switch affect? Did it make Jenny want the movie? Did it make her decide she wanted the sealed movie on Blu-ray? Or did it make her choose your listing? Or was yours just the best, cheapest, and best looking listing on eBay when she searched price lowest first? I'm gonna bet it's the last one there. Have you heard about the bad server? Cursed server? You blaming your poor sales on somehow being on a bad eBay server? If so, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but eBay uses these massive redundant superclusters of thousands and tens of thousands of servers that these clusters each act as only one computer via some sort of operating system that I don't quite understand it, but they'll have thousands of computers rigged up and it acts as if it's one computer. And these search queries and everything else, they'll hit the cluster that has the lowest load, whichever one's working the least hardest right now. And no one account, even one item, lives on just a single server or even a single supercluster. This isn't like in the old days. Some of you remember this. 1999, you're trying to play Quake online with your dial-up modem, and Bob's All Rocket Match server runs smooth as silk. You know he's always got a good server, but for some reason Hammertown server always lags out because for some reason the web traffic is getting routed through Denver even though the server is 2 miles down the street from your house. eBay servers doesn't work that way. eBay has one of the largest server farms in existence, and they aren't bad at all. You're not on one server. Your items aren't on one server. You being held back by the curse of the eBay update. eBay updated something on the site. Now, 99% of the time, it's something behind the scenes. It's completely invisible to the customer. Has nothing to do with their ability to find items or purchase them on the website. But somehow that update curses your store and causes a multi-day reduction in sales. I hear this one from sellers who I otherwise respect 100%, but it doesn't make any sense. eBay changing item requirements in trading cards does not cause the people in Palmyra, Missouri to suddenly lose interest in Quigley Down Under or Tom Selleck's magnificent mustache. It doesn't happen. And more importantly, if it did happen, if eBay updates led to direct drops in sales, then why would eBay ever update anything again? Think about it. If every single time they put in an update, suddenly the site-wide sales drop by 40%, do you think the Bobs up in the office would let Conrad and Jimmy down in the server room update anything ever again? Nope, not happening. Maybe you're trying to cast your own spells here. You think you find the right arcane combination of promoted listings, fake sales, coupon codes, and changing your settings that are going to let you sell your items at above market prices. Why not just list your items at market prices in the first place? For easily comped items, if you list the item in the middle of the range of currently listed, it's probably never ever going to sell. Unless the item suddenly becomes hot or it sits so long that inflation brings it down to the correct range. I'm mentioning this because a lot of people, their natural impulse for some reason is to list their item in the middle of the range of what's currently available. And guess what? What's currently available isn't what's sold. Most of what's currently available will never sell. Matter of fact, eBay is mostly the same items sitting there for years and years unsold, while a small percentage of items are continually put up at the right price, sold, and they're sold, and then they're replaced again with more items that are put up in the right price and sold. A good percentage of the items up right now, probably 70-80% of them, will never sell. So if you instead list the item as cheapest on eBay for the condition, it's probably going to be the next example of that item to sell on eBay. Although even then it might still be too expensive. You might want to check solds when you're pricing as well. It could be that the cheapest hacksaw Jim Dugan toothbrush sleeping bag flashlight camping combo is listed at $149.99. But here's the thing. Sales history shows that it's never sold for over $100. In that case, match the highest sold price. I mean, you can set, if it was going to sell for $149.99, your $148 not going to make it sell either. So you're not trying to go for record prices here. You're just trying to turn your items and make money. Now, more difficult items such as clothes, glass, and antiques, they do seem to require a little black magic in their pricing. On those, I generally ignore the currently available, and instead I find the absolute closest thing to what I have in the solds, and I will sell similar off that item, and I'll list it at the same price with the closest title as possible. Perhaps I'll even take similar photos. And vinyl records seem to fall into that same black magic category of pricing, where it's just super hard to price them or super hard to figure out what prices the customers will buy them at. In that case, I do that same thing. I price based off of solds, the one that looks closest to mine. Now, one thing that isn't magical at the moment is the current macro state of the economy and internet reselling in general. This is as of November 1st, 2023. If you're watching this in the future, things might be totally different. I went over this in my last video, but I feel like quite a few commenters, they missed the point. The fact is, there are only so many sales that are going to happen on reselling sites on any given day, week, etc. And right now, the number of those sales is not high enough to support the number of resellers out there in the fashion that they have become accustomed to. Now, it's not an excuse for poor sales. It's just a reality of capitalism. I could be killing it out there. I could be up 300% over last year. In reality, I thought I was way down, but in reality, I'm really close. I'm at $91,000 in sales for the year. I did 120 last year. So I'm going to come out a little bit below, but they're not by much. But internet reselling is not an area where everybody can succeed. We can't all win. Every sale that I get is a sale that Timmy isn't getting. And maybe now enough people are getting Timmy's sales that he's not getting any of them anymore. And there is nothing that you can do as a person to increase the total number of sales in the marketplace. All you can do is try to maximize the amount of them that you get. And Jimmy, Clyde, and Uncle Bill, and the railroad reseller, they might get left behind in all of that. It's just an unfortunate reality. Hey, I'd like to thank everyone for helping me get to 6K. If you want to support the channel even further, you can join the channel membership. There are some exclusive videos and extras hidden back there. And generally, channel members, I'll pretty much do whatever they ask within reason. I'm not smearing jelly on my face like American Arbitrage will, but, you know, if you want me to talk about something, mention something you've got going on, I'll do it. Or you could buy a Death Pile Monster or Christmas ornament from the One Foot Flipper store. Link down below. Hey, if you know anybody who has successfully cast a Harry Potter spell in their store, then tell them about this channel. And I hope to see you again soon.